So what do you think is the purpose?
I don't want to be crude.
Please.
Our main purpose is to repopulate.
You said the main purpose was procreation.
Yeah. That's the first.
But in that, if you limit it to just that as a purpose, then there's no difference between us and the animals, is there? Because they want to procreate, we want to procreate. And what if you're unable to procreate? Does it mean that your life is meaningless?
Know me, so they already know how I am. So if I knew everything about said person, I wouldn't be upset. They say they don't know, because I know they don't know. Because I'm the one that.
I think the question is about not just knowing the person, but knowing whether you're going to be obedient or disobedient.
Yeah.
You see, it's like your parent. Your parents know you, but they're not. If you do something that goes against their wishes, or maybe
their morals, the way they've raised you.
or maybe you're just being unreasonable sometimes. So they are not going to be happy in that situation. See what I mean? Even though they love you and you're basically obviously their son. So discipline doesn't mean that it's wrong. Sometimes children require discipline. And when I say discipline, I just don't mean like beating the person.
No.
You can discipline, like I've got children, I can discipline in many ways. For example, take away their favorite toy, or not to buy them the gift that they expect from me. You know, like this is one way to show them, like, if you're going to be disobedient, these are the consequences. So you see, when God created us, He didn't just let us to fend for ourselves. He gave us the do's and the don'ts. Just like any, I'm using the term manufacturer loosely here, you know, like if you have a phone, for example, it comes with its own user guide, isn't it? Like what are the do's and the don'ts? So if your phone is not waterproof, they'll clearly write in there, do not go swimming with it. So something like that, you know, and this is where shows not only that the Creator cares for you by giving you this guidance or these sets of instruction, the do's and the don'ts, which we call guidance. You see, guidance, to be guided by someone older than you, you take that as something good. They're doing good for you, isn't it? Isn't it? So same thing with God. He's created you, so He didn't just send you, okay, go to the earth, do what you feel like, whether it's detrimental to you, either physically or spiritually, it doesn't matter. No, but He told us exactly what are the things that He expects of you, and what are the things that you should do within your own community. Like, be good to your neighbors, be good to your family, be good to your mom, your dad, all these things. Because without guidance, you know, humans are subjective. So, you know, what might be good for you might be bad for your wife. And your wife might say something is good, you might say, no, that's bad. So subjectivity has a problem.
By your whims and
exactly, and your desires. So who's going to decide, who's going to make this call that this is good and this is bad? Because if everyone is subjective, then they all says, like you said, they follow the whims and desire. They all feel very strongly many times that what I'm doing is right, isn't it? There has to be an arbitrator who is not only objective, but who knows the ins and outs of our own desires, our own needs, our own selfishness, you know. And He also knows what is good for us and what is not good for us. Whether we see it now, you know, or something in the future. And He knows our past, He knows our present and the future. So only God is able to be in that position to arbitrate amongst human beings as to what should be the right of. You know, like every country has their own rules of what is legal, what is illegal. So,
and then what's fringe. Have some stuff that's like.
And because of this subjectivity, many times we have wars. Because of the disagreements. Everybody wants to say that their way is the right way. So I don't know, what's your background in terms of belief in God? Do you believe in God, or?
I'm agnostic, so it's not belief, like
your faith, or.
So to me, I know something created like where we are now, but I'm not sure what. So
what or who?
What or who? And I see a lot of division when it comes to people trying to talk about religious theology, because it's kind of like everyone's begatty. Like, you don't want no one to damage your. Damage.
Everyone says they're right.
So I kind of I take the creeds or like the do's and don'ts from like certain theologies and I try and if it seems good and it seems effective, I take it on board.
Which is exactly what you said earlier. Yeah. Remember the whims and desires?
Yeah, no, but I kind of use, so like, let's say in Christianity, you treat someone like they're your neighbor.
Yeah, it's the same in Islam.
Yeah. So I would tend, because I feel like
being good to your neighbor is I think common in most religions.
Yeah, so it seems as though like I would take that as a good example. Yeah. So I will take that into what I would do on a day-to-day interaction. Yeah. So I wouldn't be rude to strangers or a neighbor. I would only be like, even if someone's rude back to me, I try to be a bit lenient. And then if I feel like you are taking a mick, I'm a human. So it's
exactly. I do understand, but those are things like you don't need to be religious for that.
Yeah.
You could be an atheist and you could do all those things. So we are not saying that atheists do not have morals. We say atheists don't have a standard of moral. So one atheist will say, like I said, he'll say this is good. The other atheist will say no, it's bad. So that's, when you come to that kind of conflict, how would you decide amongst yourself as to who is right and who is wrong? Because ultimately everyone has their own biases. Yeah. They have their own, experiences in life through the lens of which they can say this I accept, this I reject. Abortion, for example. Yeah. So where do you stand? Are you pro-life? Are you pro-choice?
See, so for me it's like if I run a country.
No. This is on your personal level.
So me on my personal level.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't, like, if my girl was pregnant, I wouldn't accept it. Even if it was unplanned, I would be like, oh no, let's keep the baby.
Yeah, exactly. So you're pro-life.
Yeah, because I believe that.
What if she said no?
If she said no.
If she said she doesn't want the baby, she's too young, she has a whole career in front of her. The usual excuses from feminists that we get.
Because we are, like, it's not me. There's nothing I can do. So if she wanted to...
Oh, you're the dad. What do you mean nothing? But you have no say?
Legally speaking, there's nothing I can do.
You see, this is where you come legally.
There's nothing I can do.
Exactly my point.
I can't force her to have a baby.
You see, this is what I'm trying to tell you. That when you say legally, yes, you're right. You can't do much legally because she's an adult, you're an adult, right? But then what is one thing that this legal position ignores completely? The one who is losing their life, the baby.
Yeah.
The baby has no say in it. It is their life. Yeah, it is their. Why do we have this position where we feel entitled to decide whether someone should live or die?
Yeah,
especially a child who cannot defend itself.
It's because some people put certain things below.
Yeah, the priorities are all messed up.
So they would say if you're not aware of the outside world, then you're not technically. That's how they would see a fetus at a certain amount of months.
Trust me.
They don't have consciousness.
Trust me.
They would say.
The day your mom found out that she was pregnant, she said, "My baby."
Yeah.
Forget about consciousness. Forget about them being viable and all that nonsense. They bring up as an excuse. A potential life is still life. And it wasn't the baby's fault. Remember?
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
It takes two to tango.
Yeah.
And one of them wasn't the baby. Okay. The baby is a result of what you decided to do. And you see, most of the pregnancies which are terminated today, they are because not only them being careless, or maybe they were drunk that night, or they had some emotional, highs that they didn't think of the consequences. Whatever it is, whatever the reasoning, it wasn't the baby's fault.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so the baby shouldn't suffer
be
for
punished.
that. So this moral dilemma that many people face is real. It is not something that is like hypothetical or anything. It's very real. Hundreds and thousands and literally millions of babies are killed on an annual basis every day.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, and there are other things. For example, another example is alcohol. Yeah, I don't know if you drink or not, but it is another poison within the society. Many people know it is something that harms you, but they still indulge in it. And the government not only promotes it, it actually it gets a revenue from it.
Yeah, the government promotes it
heavily.
And they don't promote it in a sensible way. The way how they promote it is
how else? How will you?
I'm saying so. The way
how will you promote poison sensibly?
So the way how they promote it is like
it's like any ad.
It's all fun and games.
Exactly.
But it's not all fun and games because taking too much alcohol can lead you to
not only too much. No. Look, every alcoholic, before they became an alcoholic, they said, "I will drink responsibly."
Yeah.
I will. So they might have started with only one glass of wine in a week or something, and then gradually maybe some issue happened in their life, something that triggered, and they started drinking to forget that sorrow. Yeah, so drown the sorrows. They use alcohol as maybe like a getaway thing. You know, so but the thing is, the fact that it's available and the government is promoting it and they're getting a lot of money from the taxes. Same thing with cigarettes, same thing with gambling. You know, all these things are the vices we see in our society, but still nothing's been done about it. Do you know how many people die from alcohol-related matters every year?
I'm not too sure how many people.
Give me a rough idea.
I know it's going to be a lot. It will be like over 100,000, no? Like,
is that it?
No, I'm saying over it. Like, it will be over 100,000.
You'll be surprised to hear it's something, and this is, like I said, this is based on the figures that they have. 2.7 million a year. Yes?
Yeah.
Have you heard of any war recently where 2.7 million people died?
No, not too bad. No.
So, you know, the last time it happened was during the World Wars.
World War II.
Yes?
It would have been, World War II.
Well, it was very high, of course, 60, 70 million.
Yeah.
But they lasted a few years, didn't they? They didn't just happen in 1 year. Yeah. But still, you see, these are world wars. But here, people don't even bat an eyelid.
Yeah.
Yes? Like more people die from this than any other thing that you can think about today. And like I said, there are other issues like gambling, for example. Families break apart.
Yeah, I don't gamble.
No, I'm not saying you do. I'm saying these are the vices we see which are legal. Remember you mentioned legal, and that's why I brought in these points. So even something which is legal, it doesn't mean
it's good.
It doesn't mean the government cares about your welfare, of your life, of your health, and you know many other things of your family. For example, there are people who might be gambling, you know, and they start borrowing from their family, from the friends.
I already know that from like personal experience. I already know, especially gambling.
So there you go. You see, it can not only destroy your life, but it will tear you apart from your own family, from the friends that you might have known since childhood. Yes, that is how evil it is. So everything that the Quran mentions, which is haram, you know this term haram?
Yeah, haram, yeah.
So this is which Allah has prohibited, God has prohibited. These are the things, for example, Allah has prohibited alcohol, obviously murder, you know, gambling, fornication, adultery, so anything that, you know, is harmful to you, and all of these things which Allah has made haram. Lying, for example, you know, many times giving false testimony can imprison someone for life. Can destroy somebody's life. Exactly. And they might lose everything that they earned all their life. So all these things which Allah has made haram or prohibited, they make sense to you. Whether you are a person who believes in God, you're religious, non-religious, atheist, agnostic, doesn't matter. When they look at this list, they'll say, yes, this is something which is the correct list that we should all abide by. So, and that is the reason I'm saying that belief in God is very important. Because also the fact that we will all die one day. And that is that's fact.
Something that no one can argue.
No one can deny this. Absolutely. Whether you're a believer in God or disbeliever. Whether you're an atheist or agnostic.
Even if you're a crazy person.
Yes. So this is one.
Crazy person will be like, we will die in one day.
It is one fact we can all agree upon. So have you ever thought about what you think will happen to you after you die? Do you think our life comes to an end, or do you think there is something else beyond that?
I've thought about it, but I'm not sure. Because I haven't died, I couldn't tell you what happens.
Do you think I died?
No, but I'm saying anyone that
you're seeing a real man, not a ghost.
Anyone that's telling me what happens when they die, to me it's like, if you haven't died, how do you know? It's all speculation.
That is where God comes in. You see, look, you don't have to know everything. In order for you to lead a life which is good and moral, and which is something that we can recognize as being wholesome. So we believe that the only way to do that is to obey God, and go based on the prescription He's given you, and obey the message of Allah. Because he being a human being, He's not only practiced these laws, He's implemented it in His own life, and then He's teaching you at the same time. So this is not something which is just hypothetical. It's real. He has literally implemented the Quran in his life when he was alive. So we believe obedience to Allah and the Rasul is the best way. So with regards to the life after that, Allah has told us that there is a life after you die, and that is a real beginning of a new beginning. And the real life, why I call it the real life, is because it's going to be eternal, unending. This life, 60, 70, maybe let's say if you're lucky, maybe 100 years, you might live that long. But that's very limited, you know, if you look at how big eternity is, that's like a small fraction.
That's like a drop in the ocean.
And even a fraction of a drop, I would say. So, if let's say, look at the counter argument to that. Let's say we died, you and me, we died one day, which we definitely will, and then that's it. That was the end of us. There's nothing after that. No life after death. Did you or I lose anything in that situation?
Yeah, life.
No, life we lost. That's obvious.
We lost
but in terms of
we lost our loved ones. We're no longer there. We've lost our memories.
When I say lost, what I meant is like, did you, in a way, like take any big risk, or while you were alive? Because you were living the life you wanted. I was living the life based on my principles.
Even during life, there's a lot of sacrifices you take.
No, I mean at that point. So what I'm trying to say is that if someone has not lived their life according to what God has prescribed for us, and there is an afterlife.
Then they're pissed.
So who's taking the bigger risk?
Excuse my French. Then it's game for them.
Exactly. So who's taking the bigger risk? The one who has not prepared for afterlife, or the one who has prepared?
The one who prepared.
Absolutely. Obviously. An intelligent person makes preparations for the real journey. Yes. So imagine you're going to America and you had to stop over, I don't know, say somewhere in Cyprus or something. Yes. And that place Cyprus is like a transit. You wouldn't pack your bag for Cyprus, would you? You would pack it for America.
Pack it for America.
Which is your final destination.
And then bring maybe like one vest in case Cyprus is hot, like really hot, so I can get changed quickly.
Absolutely. So there you go. So you prepare for the destination, and that's what shows a good person or an intelligent person would do. So you seem like an intelligent person. You would want to minimize the risk, don't you? Your laces have a purpose. Do you think you and I don't have a purpose?
I know we have purpose.
So what do you think is the purpose?
I don't want to be crude.
Please.
Our main purpose is to repopulate. That's the first and foremost.
No problem.
Is to repopulate.
So populate. I thought you said popular.
Repopulate. So the reason why I
what's the difference between
is to have a child and to continue my bloodline.
Sorry to be equally crude. What's the difference between you and animals?
Me and animals is conscious, like a level of
they want to procreate as well, just like
no, but I'm saying that like I can process stuff and decipher whether it's wise to go here or to stay at home.
That's good. No, I meant in this. You said the main purpose was procreation.
That's the first.
But in that, if you limit it to just that as a purpose, then there's no difference between us and the animals, is there? Because they want to procreate, we want to procreate. And what if you're unable to procreate? Does it mean that your life is meaningless?
No, it don't mean your life is meaningless.
There you go. So that cannot be the main purpose, my friend.
But that is that's the objective.
No, but if that is your main objective,
that's the main objective,
and if you're unable to do it, does that mean your life now has no meaning?
No, because there are other objectives.
Okay. So what else? What else?
It's not one objective.
Give me your second best reason. Sorry.
So having a family, building a strong community. So whether it's your friends, family, that's another good objective of life. Being charitable when you can. So sometimes if you have an excess of something, you should.
Okay. Let me ask you a question based on what you just said. Let's say you're 25 years old. In the 25 years of your life, what percentage of your life you have spent on those things which you consider to be your main purpose? If you were to give, if I were to ask you from, let's forget percentage, between 1 and 10, how much of that have you spent?
Like 4 or 5.
Okay, so that cannot be the main objective.
I've done a lot of community work.
That's still very good, I would say, considering most human beings. But it shows that cannot be the main purpose, unless it was at the rate of something like 7, 8, or 9. But anyway,
it's just life.
This is just a rough idea.
It's just like life throws. So you could be on track doing something, and then life throws a curveball.
Absolutely.
And then you have to get back on the
unpredictable.
track. So it's So if I could, I would love to do it 10 out of 10.
You know, Allah gives us the answer to this question. What is the purpose of our life, our existence? Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجَنَّ وَالْإِنسِ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. That means we have not created the insan, the mankind and the jinn, except for his worship. What does worship mean? Worship just means obedience to God.
Yeah.
So, for example, you being nice to your family, you know, just what you mentioned, being nice to your family, being charitable. What is the other thing you said? Yeah, procreation as well, in the right way, obviously, not through adultery or fornication.
I'm not talking about like plant your seed anywhere and disappear.
I know, yeah. So all of this, if you do it, and this is what I meant, if you do it within the framework of the Sharia, of Islam, then Allah will bless you and He will actually reward you for that. Yes? If you do it in the right way, that is. So you can enjoy even sex with your wife, which is normal, isn't it? Yes. You know, basically being the breadwinner in the family as a man, and you know, especially coming from Jamaica, mashallah, they are very you know, manly in the sense that they want to be in control of, you know, providing for the family, which is a good thing. It's exactly what Islam says, that the men are the ones who should be the ones
should bear
the responsibility of looking up to the family, both financially and in other ways as well. So this is something that if we do it in that way, then God is rewarding you for it. So everything that you said as being your purpose is already within Islam. But the only thing is we put above all of this
it's
God Almighty. Yes? And everything else then falls nicely in place. And then you can go about your daily life doing whatever it is. So, you know, please look into it. And
I definitely will.
You already have family members. So, you know, don't risk your afterlife, my friend. You seem like a nice person, a good citizen, you know, alhamdulillah. But make that final destination, prepare for that. Yes? Minimize the risk by studying the deen, and like I said,
I'm gonna look. I wanted to get a Quran. I saw
Ali,
that I've got one in my
you
bag.
got one already.
I saw Ali like a couple years ago on the train.
Oh, did you?
Okay. Obviously.
Did you approach him?
No, he was on the same carriage. I spoke to him for a while.
Oh, that's nice.
And I got his number to get a Quran.
Okay.
But I don't know if something could have happened and he had to change his number.
You see, this is a sign. This is a sign from God. He's given you another chance. God is giving you more chances. Take this as a sign, you know, that He wants to lead you. Because you see, if you're sincere and you're objective in your life, sincerely seeking the truth, then God will guide you to that path in a way that you probably never even imagined. So make use of these chances that God gives you. Because one day, it might be too late. And you don't want to wait till then. So the sooner the better. Like I said, you can go about your daily life as long as you're doing it in the right way, within the framework of what God has told you, and make it as halal in your way and permissible, then you're good to go, you know. There's nothing wrong in that, leading your normal life like we all do, you know, all the Muslims. For us, worship doesn't just mean going to the mosque and praying 5 times a day and that's it. That is very important, of course, that's obligatory for us. But that is not the only thing what worship means. Worship means just obedience to God and the messenger in the way that they told us to lead the life. What's your name, by the way?
My name's Corey.
Corey, I'm Hashim, Very nice meeting you. So inshallah, next time, you know, when these guys are here, I think every Friday and Saturday, I'm there in Speaker's Corner on Sundays.
I should be able to tell you what I've read next time.
Inshallah,
next time I see you.
We'll have a Q&A.
Have a lovely evening.
You too, take care. No problem. May Allah reward the brother. Seems like a very nice person. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.